The impact from this past weekend's winter weather is still being felt locally. We'll break that down. Plus, Huntingburg Mayor Denny Spinner talks utility rates and downtown revitalization on Monday with the mayor. And Lincoln Amphitheater PR Director Brandy Wire is our guest this evening on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. More from this past weekend's winter storm in a moment, but we begin this evening with police identifying a Daviess County teen who was fatally shot on Friday morning and making 3 arrests in connection with the case. 17-year-old Devin Burris of Washington was pronounced dead at Daviess Community Hospital in the early morning hours on Friday. Police say a shooting was reported in the 2200 block of Oak Grove Road just before 2:15 on Friday morning. Police were also told that 2 vehicles had stopped at the Ebenezer Church and a pair of gunshots was heard. One of the vehicles, described as a silver or gold Cadillac, fled the scene. The second car was found with a gunshot through it when police arrived. According to the report, police received another call about 10 minutes later stating that an unknown person had dropped Burris off at the emergency room at Daviess Community Hospital. Emergency room staff spent about 30 minutes working on Burris before he was pronounced dead. Now, as I mentioned a moment ago, 3 people have been arrested in connection with the shooting. 19-year-old Lucas Benjamin was arrested on Friday, and he is preliminarily charged with a Class A felony for conspiracy to commit murder. His bond is currently set at $10 million. 18-year-old Logan Evans was sought out by police on Saturday as a person of interest that police wanted to talk to. He was arrested just before 6:45 last night, and he is being preliminarily charged with murder. He's being held without bond. Finally, 18-year-old Heaven Berry, who was with Evans when he was arrested, was also arrested. She is facing a preliminary Class C felony charge for providing assistance to someone who has committed a murder. Her bond was initially set at $7,500. Police are continuing to investigate this case. Now back to the winter weather. The impacts of this past weekend's winter storm continued to be felt across our WJTS viewing area today. All school districts in DuBois, Pike, Daviess, and Spencer counties were closed today. Perry Central schools were also closed, while Tell City Troy Township schools were on a 2-hour delay this morning. Ivy Tech Community College and Vincennes University were also closed today. Now, the weekend storm dumped at least 6 inches of snow all across our WJTS viewing area over the weekend. Some places in DuBois County got up to 9 inches of snow, while parts of Pike County got as much as 11.5 inches, and other places as much as 13 inches of snowfall. Several communities and counties were in some sort of a state of emergency on Friday into Saturday. Locally, those included Huntingburg and Ferdinand. Perry and Martin counties also were in a state of emergency over parts of the past weekend as the storm moved through. Several weekend events, such as the Lagodi Christmas Stroll and the Huntingburg Christmas Parade, were also canceled as a result of the weather. With the end of this storm, forecasters have a bit of a chance to look back at their work in predicting it. Kevin Deitch is a meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Louisville. He says overall, the track of the storm was about what they had expected.
The track was pretty spot on. A couple of days out, we shifted it maybe a few counties north or south, kind of where the rain and snow line would set up. But as we know, the Ohio River tends to kind of be the separation between snow and rain further to the south. So sometimes the tracks are a bit hard to pinpoint. But we had a pretty good handle on this one, and the snowfalls totals worked out pretty well.
Deitch says though this storm caused a lot of havoc, it isn't always indicative of what we'll see the rest of the winter.
There have been plenty of winters where we start, December is very snowy, very cold, and we've, warm up in January and February, and then other winters where obviously December's cold and the rest of the winter's cold. So fortunately there's not too much of a correlation that we can gain, from just a couple bigger storms at the beginning of December.
State, county, and local road crews all put in long hours this weekend, and in spite of schools being closed today, main roads across the area were pretty well cleared of snow, though there are still slick spots. For up-to-date road conditions, you can go to the Indiana Department of Transportation's website at in.gov/indot or trafficwise.in.gov. The storm also brought frigid temperatures with it, as lows could drop into the single digits over the next couple of nights. A warm-up is expected later this week, however, and we'll have more on that in your local forecast, which is coming up later in tonight's broadcast. Finally this evening, a current DuBois County Commissioner has been chosen to serve on a prestigious board of directors. Randy Fleck was elected as Vice President of the Board of Directors for the Indiana Association of County Commissioners. The elections were held last week at the group's annual conference. The three-day-long conference also featured workshops and breakout sessions not only for elected officials, but also for their support staffs. Fleck will represent elected county commissioners across all 92 Indiana counties in his new role. Wayne County Commissioner Ken Paust, a past president of the association, says Fleck will be a great spokesperson for the association. The Board of Directors determines the policies and legislative goals for the Indiana Association of County Commissioners. Coming up after the break, Huntingburg Mayor Denny Spenner is tonight's guest on Monday with the Mayor, plus chilly temperatures for the next few mornings in your local forecast, sports with Kurt Gooksell, and Inform featuring Lincoln Amphitheater PR Director Brandy Wire. That's all up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.